Hello guys, this is Lena. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share 7 tips that's going to help you to get into a nursing program. So stay tuned. I want to introduce myself briefly for those who don't know me. I am a nurse here in the States and I am currently in a nurse practitioner program. When I was applying for my undergrad nursing program, I didn't have any guidance and it was a little bit challenging. So I'm making this video hoping that this can be helpful for those thinking of applying for a nursing program. Now let's talk about the general process. How does this work? So first, you choose a program that you're going to apply and you take the prerequisite classes that the program requires. And then you take the nursing entrance exam and then you apply for the school. Process itself is not that difficult. It's pretty simple and straightforward. But since so many people are applying for nursing programs, it is a little bit competitive and good strategies will help you to get into the program. First thing I want to talk about is GPA, especially the prerequisite science classes. Their GPA matters. I cannot emphasize this enough. So the program that I applied for the first time, applicants' average GPA was 3.9 something. So that means if you get an A minus, that's okay. But if you get more than 1 A minus, you are done. It was that kind of a situation. And I totally messed it up by taking anatomy and physiology together. I thought that I had to finish everything in the time frame that I planned for, and I was rushing everything. And I decided to take anatomy and physiology together, which was not a good strategy. So here's my recommendation. If there are hardcore classes that you are not ready for, do not take them together. It's okay to take things slowly. It's much better than retaking classes. So if I sum it up, don't take anatomy and physiology together. If you already have background knowledge, you already kind of know what's going on in our body and everything, then sure, go ahead. But like me, if it's your kind of first time taking anatomy and physiology in your life, I recommend not to do that. So I ended up not getting A's and I had to retake them. So it actually took longer and cost more because of tuition. So it was not very good. So do not rush yourself and make sure you plan your classes really well. Second one is the nursing entrance exam. Basically, I want to say, study hard. The score matters. But yeah, of course it does. I mean, who wouldn't want to get good scores on the nursing entrance exam, right? What I did was I got a bunch of practice exam books from the bookstore, and I kept working on it and working on it. And when I took the test for the first time, I did not like my score, so I retook the test. So you can retake them. Some schools and some programs might give you some restrictions, like you can only retake them once or twice. And some schools might give you multiple chances. It really depends on the schools. So what I recommend is do a lot of practice questions and be ready for the test, and take the test when you're actually ready, and don't rush anything. That was my mistake when I applied nursing program for the first time. I rushed everything, but it didn't really help. So my advice here, don't rush, be prepared, and take the test when you're ready. And retake them if you don't like your score, but make sure you look up the policy because a lot of schools have restrictions. The third one that I want to talk about is get many volunteer hours. It looks amazing on your resume. It might give you some topics that you can talk about for your essays. So do volunteer work if the time permits. And if you can get the reference letters or recommendation letters from nurses or nurse supervisors, that would be fantastic. Next one is becoming a CNA. So it looks amazing on a resume. And this program is usually a couple of months. It's really short. And if you are working at the hospital as a CNA, you can easily get the recommendation letters and reference letters from nurses and sometimes from doctors too. Some schools really value CNA experience. It depends on the schools. And this is what I did as well. I took CNA certification class before I got into nursing program, and I think it really helped. And also the very first part of nursing practicum is and overlaps with what CNA does anyways, so it's really helpful. Next thing I want to emphasize is that you can apply many other programs and schools. There is no limitations, and this is the thing that I did not know when I applied for my undergrad nursing program. So I'm just saying, apply for multiple schools, but make sure that they all share similar or the same prerequisite classes, so you don't have to take a bunch of different classes. So the next thing I want to talk about is the application and the essay. So for the application, don't miss the deadline. Apparently a lot of people still do. Actually, one of my friends, she is working at the nursing admissions office, and she was like, oh my goodness, I cannot tell you how many people try to submit their applications after deadline. It happens. So don't miss deadlines, and typos and grammatical errors, they look very unprofessional on your application. So I recommend you to proofread before you submit them. And for essays, it goes the same. I recommend you to get the proofreading on your essay. In my case, I use online proofreading service. I had to pay a little bit, but it was totally worth it. I recommend that. And also for the personal essays, I recommend you to write personal and creative essays, not like generic answers. If they ask, oh, why do you want to be a nurse? And some people just say, oh, because I love helping people. I mean, it's great that you love helping people, but I think it would be more noticeable if you use a little bit more creative, personal answers. All right, the last one. I think this is the most important one. I recommend you to analyze the program that you're applying to. So, for example, one of the schools I applied, it literally had the list. Like, okay, so your GPA for this and this classes will be counted how many percentage towards your admission. And your personal essay will be this much. And your reference letters will be this much. And your entrance exam will be this much. So I actually could see what they are looking for. Some schools are straightforward like that, and some schools are a little bit vague. They're like, you know what, like you just need this and this and this. They don't tell you more than that. In that case, you gotta dig a little bit deeper. Like, okay, what kind of people got in? And you can actually find somebody who's going there or who went there. So you gotta find out what kind of students they are looking for. And some schools, they actually interview students. And that case, like you wanna prepare for what kind of interview questions they would ask and what kind of answers you gotta, kind of think like, what would I say to this kind of question? So I think the most important thing is that you gotta know what the program is looking for. Alright, so I think this is pretty much it that I prepared for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that this can be helpful to you. If you enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe, and I hope you have a great day. Bye bye.